back to another pristine productions here, and shout out to all the fans. Today we're going to talk about a very special topic. We're going to talk about key frequencies for dancehall low end. You know, I want to make sure that bounce is going there. So I got a freestyle rhythm here I'm going to talk about here in a minute here, and I'm going to show you a little bit of a demo here.
All the single ladies, them a drive me crazy. Pretty ladies, them a drive me crazy. Quarter mile, listen, them a run come. Them a come from pretty girl tongue.
So let's get right down into it here. This is key frequencies for low end on dancehall. So let me break down the pattern here real quick. We have a kick drum here going. And you want to make sure you got some nice pumping samples going here. And we have some drums here and another snare drum here. So let's break it down. Let's get right into it. I'm not going to spend too long here. So I'm going to unmute my effects here, and we're going to talk about get a little bit of mix and a little process here. So let's get right down to the kick drum here. I'm going to bring the kick drum up here. As you can see from the start, I have some nice low end happening here. So the key fundamental frequency you want to look at on dancehall music, you want to check out the 40, 50, 60K range here. Now what I'm going to do to tighten up that low end a little bit here, I'm going to be taking off a little bit 30, maybe about 40 here, because I want to maintain that low end there. You know, we want to give it a little bit more smack. This is like a 2-in-1 here. We have a kick drum and a snare drum in this sample here. On the compression side here, what I'm going to do, I like the bounce that is happening there, so I'm just going to do a little bit of soft just to catch a little bit of the top end there. Right about there. So we have some nice control on the bottom end here. So we start from there, and we started there. Now if we want a little bit extra low end, we can test out the 50 kilohertz. Maybe about a 1 dB there. We can switch between the bells here. Now let's check out the other sound. Now we have a snare drum here. Now I want a little bit of thickness here, so I'm going to sweep through the 200 to 450 range here. Right about there. Maybe a little bit top end. Off. On. Let's move down to the other snare. So I'm going to pull up the SSL channel strip here. So we're using the lower mid frequency here. So between the 200 to 450 range, experiment to see where you can get that nice fatness there. So I'm going to do a little bit of roll off here just to make room for that bass. And I'm going to boost. So right around the 300 area, I'm getting a little bit more thickness there. I'm going to add a little bit more compression here. So I get a little bit more smack there. So that's before and after. We have the hi-hats here. Not going to do nothing much to that. Let's take a look at the bass. So a little bit of roll off here. I'm going to check out the the lower mid-range bass here. Soften the attack here a little bit. So that's before and after. So we're boosting about 226 here. Now for this part here, gonna roll off a little bit of a 10 here. So about 130 here. Let's bring in the rest. Vocals. Now, just for us to cut the vocal here a little bit here, I'm going to add a CLA 76 here. And we're going to recap what we did short. So let me bring in the CLA so we can have the vocals cutting through the mix here.
All the single ladies, them a drive me crazy. All the pretty ladies, them a drive me crazy. Quarter mile, listen, them a run come. Them a come from pretty girl town. All the single ladies, them a drive me crazy. All the pretty ladies, them a drive me crazy. Quarter mile, listen, them a run come. Them a come from pretty girl town. All the single ladies, them a drive me crazy. All the pretty ladies, them a drive me crazy. Quarter mile, listen, them a run come. Them a come from pretty girl town. All the single ladies.
And there you have it, guys. So let's recap here. So the fundamental frequency on low end, key frequencies for dancehall low end here. So what we did on the kick drum, we went ahead and boosted a little bit of a 50 here, almost a dB, just to get that more rounded bottom end. If I bypass the channel strip here, it's going to sound a little bit muffled. We added a little bit of attack on the 3.5K. That's to create a balance here. You got to balance the low end with the top end, so it sounds as one unified sound with a little bit of compression there. And typical for dancehall music, especially Afro beats, you want to explore with the 50, 60, 80, up to 120 kilohertz here. Now, the second sound here, which is a snare, we find that around 218, we boosted a little bit of 7.6 dB here to get a little bit more rounder sound and snare. That's without. That's with. So you're gonna see these key frequencies keeps coming back. Here we went and pushed it further to 381 at about 8 dB. That's giving that snare a little bit more attack, a little bit more bottom, a little bit more defined sound. And when we bring up the bass here, I'm pushing about 226 at just about 3 dB there. You might say, Ray, man, that's too much frequencies. We're boosting at different locations here because this is what kind of brings the instrument a little bit more closer, a little bit more body, a little bit more defined. Right down to the synthesizer instrument here, which we're boosting a little bit of 135. So when you look at it, guys, when it comes to the low end for dancehall music, and not only dancehall, but Afro beats, experiment with the 50 to 200 to 300. In some cases, we even go as far as 400. Boost a little bit. These are the fundamental frequencies when it comes to dancehall music. Want to get sure that snare is popping there. And although we boosted those, you listen to the vocal.
Ladies, them a drive me crazy. All the pretty ladies, them a drive me crazy. Quarter mile, listen, them a run come. Them a come from pretty girl town.
On the vocal here, we're cutting away and we're boosting some top end there, so we get the vocal cutting through the mix here.
All the single ladies, them a drive me crazy. All the pretty ladies, them a drive me crazy. Quarter mile, listen, them a run come. Them a come from pretty girl town.
So I'm gonna stop there. Remember, you can hit me up, guys. Link in the description. We can check out my mixing dancehall course where I explain these fundamental frequencies. I'll be sure to purchase my courses for $30 US, and you're gonna get some serious knowledge in that, man. I'm telling you, a lot of producers and artists are following my course, and they love it all. I have reggae, soca, dancehall, and Afro music, and that you can learn. Each course is like an hour and a half in 3 parts. We break down arranging the tracks, editing, and the second part is mixing, and third part, of course, is mastering. So be sure to check out my website as well. We can buy some top-notch rhythms and stem files with the MIDI. And also, if you want me to mix and master for you, if you're an artist, you can contact me on my email, and I'll also do the graphic designs. I want to shout out to Redbubble, by the way. I'm going to put a link in the description. I have a couple of designs out which you can put it on your coffee cup and T-shirts. Some custom epic gaming kind of design. So I'm going to put that in the subscription in the description also.
All the single ladies.
So I'm going to catch you guys on the next one.